Welcome to Answers from the Stairs, an off-the-cuff chat with Chris Vester. On this show, Chris provides insight on all areas of your life, whether it be your business, your relationships, or your health. Chris is a longtime business owner and coach looking to help everyone and anyone find their purpose and beat mediocrity. In his experience, he can teach anyone to reach their true potential. If you're ready to realize your God-given talents, then welcome to the show.
Today, we're talking about the Wafer Rule. And actually, for the first time, I am going to talk about something that I've applied from my life. Usually it's what I hear from someone else. But you know, I've said I want members of my team to understand my thinking. And this is a rule that the leadership team in our group, in our organization, and actually a lot of the sales members have heard me say this. What is the Wafer Rule? So I equate or relate a lot of business scenarios or business ideas to physical challenges. You know, you think about, you watch leaders in sports and you see how they act. I mean, that's a physical challenge, but a lot of that applies to business. Jocko Willink's book is military ideas, but it's applied to business, and how can you apply those lessons to business? And this is a gym lesson. I've been through 4 surgeries, so I've had to recover a lot and competed in physique sports for over the course of about 16 years. And through those scenarios, training for competition and recovering from surgeries or injuries, only one of which was in the gym, by the way, having to make those little small incremental steps to achieve the goal or to recover. You know, so I think that's why it applies to me in business. If we're in a rut in a certain area, okay, we got to get out of that rut. So how are we going to do that? We're going to do it very slow and incrementally and keep our eyes on the big prize. And if things are smooth sailing, that's not a time to sit back and relax and rely on what has always got us there. We got to still make little small incremental improvements. So why is it called the Wafer Rule? Well, in the gym, there's these tiny little plates. They're really, really thin. They're 2.5 pounds. So recovering from a knee surgery that I had a few years ago, it weakened me a lot. And so what I did is every week during the workout, as long as I was able to reach my goal that week, the next week I added to it on each side of the bar, on squats or whatever the exercise was, a 2.5 pound wafer. And you think, well, that's only 5 pounds. It's not that big a deal. Well, if you do that over the course of a year, it's over 250 pounds you're adding to that exercise over the course of the year. And for anybody that spent any time in the gym, 250 pounds in a lift is a lot of weight. So that's how it's applied there. And then on the flip side of that is training for competitions when things are smooth and you're constantly trying to improve whatever you need to in your physique, and you're looking at areas that aren't balanced or whatever, and you're doing just that little bit extra for that one spot. Not the whole body, just the one spot that needs improvement. And maybe using as much as just a wafer to work that one spot. So I've always referred to it as the Wafer Rule. So years ago, I had someone that was training with me, and I had 2 shoulder surgeries back to back inside of 45 days. And when I came back after the shoulder surgeries, I was very, very weak. And after about 5 weeks, he and I were using almost the same weight. And he got to noticing that I would always put a 2.5 pound plate. He goes, that doesn't make any difference. It's such a small weight. It can't make any difference. And then in about 8 months, I was using double the amount of weight he was. And he made a reference. He goes, you've really gotten your strength up over the last few months. And it's like, yeah, that 2.5 pounds really doesn't mean anything, does it? It's all about the small improvements and the small incremental changes that we can make in small areas, not overwhelming changes. That's what I got to work on, is trying to make little changes over a bunch of things. So yes, today actually is one of my answers, but it's for my team. I need them to see this, to know that's where the Wafer Rule comes from. So when you hear it referenced, that's what I mean. Today, I want to give some credit to our incredible facilitator, Dr. Trish. She's amazing. And I'm probably going to do a couple of different episodes about some of the things that I learned from her with the breathing techniques and how to get comfortable in the ice and the snow and the cold, generate your own body heat. But what I want to talk about today is the idea of self-improvement. You know, I've talked about my theory, what I call the Wafer Effect. You know, spending a bunch of time in the gym, and the idea that every week when you reach your goals, setting a goal, when you reach your goal, just adding that little small 2.5 pound wafer to the bar. If you were able to hit your goal every week, at the end of the year, it's a 250 pound gain in that particular lift. So eventually that 2.5 pounds gets pretty heavy. But she kind of hit a whole different spot for me that I really am excited to share with my team. So I figured I'd share it on here. And it's just the idea of getting 1% better. Just 1% better every day. And part of the reason I was really excited to be a part of this was, you know, one of my responsibilities is coaching our team and coaching salespeople, coaching the leadership staff. You know, it's some of it's pure coaching, and sometimes I get really frustrated with the coaching part of it because I don't understand why they don't understand it. It's really a failure on my part to translate it in a way that they understand, which Dr. Trish is a master at. I mean, she really is amazing at explaining the why behind everything that's going on. So when she gave this little 1% rule, it was if you get 1% better, just every day, just 1%, is there one thing you can do that's 1% better? Not 10%, not 5%, just 1%. And take that thing and improve on it by 1% the next day. And then just by 1% the next day. At the end of the year, you're 37.7% better than you were. So if you put that in real terms, if you're looking to lose some weight and you just set a goal of, I'm going to just drop 1%, you could drop 40% of your body weight if you needed to drop that much. Or if it came to sales goals, just adding just 1% of your effort, 1% more to your contacts every day, 1% more to who you're reaching out to every day, 1% more in your studying of your craft every day, just 1%, that at the end of the year, 37%, almost 38% increase in your ability, which could lead to 37% increase in your income, 37% increase in your health. And when it comes to relationships, the idea of pouring in just 1% more into those important relationships in your life, your spouse, your children, your circle, your inner circle of friends, those guys that you're really, really tight with, who understand you and want to see you be better, not those crabs in a bucket. 1%. Dr. Trish, thank you so much for everything that you taught us this weekend. And I got a few more. Took a lot of notes.
Thank you for listening to Answers from the Stairs with Chris Vester, and for using the insights you gained to find your purpose and strength in anything you do. Tune in next week for another chat with Chris, and don't forget that reaching your true potential is not easy, but it's worth the work to find it and live in it. Until next time.